The mundane reality of life and how to break free from it. The mundane reality can be a challenging place to live. We suppress our emotions and get bored easily. We often find ourselves in relationships we don't want because it is familiar and comfortable, and we value certainty and the illusion of control, which makes finding true happiness difficult. However, there is hope. In this lesson, we will discuss how to break free from the mundane reality and find the next step leading us toward our truth. Living in the mundane reality. In order to manifest our desires, it is essential that we understand the power of our thoughts and beliefs. Too often, we allow our attention to be focused on what we do not want rather than what we do want. This creates a vibrational mismatch that prevents us from attracting what we desire. Instead, we must learn to focus our attention on what we want to create and trust that the universe will provide us with the resources and circumstances we need to make it happen. This may not always be easy, but it is essential if we want to manifest our dreams and desires. The good news is that as we practice manifesting our desires, it will become easier and more natural over time. So keep up the good work and don't give up. The challenges of the mundane reality. Life can be a challenge, especially when it comes to creating the kind of reality that we want. So many things stand in our way, from emotions and relationships to our own mindset. Our own unconscious thoughts can create barriers that seem impossible to overcome. However, we can choose to view these challenges as opportunities. By working through them, we can develop a stronger sense of self-awareness and learn to create the kind of reality we truly desire. In the end, it is up to us to decide whether the challenges we face will hold us back or help us move forward. Whatever we choose, we have the power to create our own reality. How to rise above the challenges of the mundane reality. Breaking up with your identity. A first step to rising above the challenges of the mundane reality is to break up with your identity. So often we allow our sense of self to be defined by our past experiences and opinions of others. This can prevent us from living in the present moment and prevent us from manifesting our desires. If you want to rise above the challenges of the mundane reality, it is essential that you let go of your old identity and create a new one that is based on who you want to be, not who you have been. Start practicing mindfulness. Mindfulness is the practice of being present in the moment. It is about being aware of our thoughts and choosing what you want your next thought to be. Knowing that reality is your creation. A second step is to realize that reality is your creation. You have the power to create the kind of reality that you want, regardless of your past or present circumstances. All it takes is a shift in perspective and some creative thinking. So start brainstorming ways to make your dreams a reality. And don't be afraid to think outside the box and take action. No matter how much we desire something, it won't happen unless we take action towards making it happen. So start taking small steps in the direction of your dreams and trust that the universe will provide you with the resources and circumstances that you need to make them a reality. And choose the sacred over the mundane. The third and final step is to choose the sacred over the mundane. In other words, choose to focus your attention on what is more important to you. This may mean making some changes in your life, but it is worth it in the end if it means living a life that is more in alignment with your truth. So ask yourself what is most important to you and make a commitment to live your life in accordance with that. Choose to focus your attention on what brings you joy and let go of anything that doesn't. When we choose the sacred over the mundane, we open ourselves up to limitless possibilities. We stop living in a state of lack and start living in a state of abundance, and this makes moving forward possible. There are also blessings in living in the mundane reality. When we live in the mundane reality, we may not be aware of the blessings that come with it. We may think that predictability is a negative, but it can actually be a positive. It allows us to know what to expect on a daily basis and helps us to avoid surprises. Additionally, predictability can help us maintain our relationships and emotions. If we know what to expect, we can better prepare ourselves for any challenges that come our way. The mundane reality can help us develop a positive mindset. If we accept that things may not always be exciting, we can learn to appreciate the simple things in life. And finally, living in the mundane reality can help you become more aware of your unconscious thoughts. If we're not constantly bombarded with new stimuli, we can take time to reflect on our innermost thoughts and feelings. As a result, living in the mundane reality can actually be a blessing in disguise. Closing thoughts on the mundane reality: just as it is within you the power to choose how you see the events of your life, it is also within you to choose how you feel about those events. If you find yourself feeling bored or unhappy, it is not because of your circumstances, but because of the way you are choosing to see your circumstances. To change your experience of life, simply commit to seeing the joy and possibility in every moment, no matter how mundane it may seem. When you make this commitment to yourself, you will find that your life becomes infinitely more interesting and enjoyable. So the next time you find yourself feeling bored, simply remember that it is a choice and choose something different. Some mundane frequently asked questions. What are the risks of staying in the mundane? What are the risks of getting out of the mundane? And why do I want to get out of the mundane?